Hello, guys. So, this is going to be a short video, but I had to come and make this video. I saw this skit on social media. Now, I've seen them before, and they do bother me, but they kind of trigger me. But I don't always say anything or put anything in the comments or anything like that. Um, This video, it was a skit. It was obviously a skit. But so because it's a skit and I know it's a skit, it's one of those things where um, I it's the implication behind the video, the skit. So with that being said, this was a skit. You guys have probably seen it. It is a little girl. There's been a few like this. This was a little girl. Don't think I've seen any with little boys, but this is a little girl, little black girl, pretty little girl, who walks up to a man. This black guy. Not that it matters what color, but this black guy sitting on a bench and dressed nice, decent. And she goes, "Oh, well, I'm hungry. Can you get me something to eat?" And the skit goes on from there. Of course, he does it, and I'm going to call the police and make sure. Oh no, here's the other really important part. He said, "Well, where's your parents?" And she's like, "Oh, well, they're at work. They're not home." And it's just like, okay. So he's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to order a pizza and I'm going to have it delivered to the park, and then I'm going to call the police just to make sure everything's okay." So the comments, um, I don't know if a lot of people assumed that this was real, um, because there were so many. Oh, he's such a nice guy, and what a nice guy to do something like that, and wonder where the parents are, and da, da, da. And it's just like, I know y'all know that this is a skit, but I think a lot of people didn't. So, um, but needless to say, um, there's that skit, and then I've seen skits of, you know, like a kid is sitting on a bench all by themselves, and the guy or because usually these skits are men in the skits. And some other guy just comes up and it's like, "Oh, well, um your mom said for me to come and pick you up, and I'm here to take you home," or whatever. And the kid will go, "Oh, well, I don't know you," or something like that. And of course that piques the other person's interest or whatever. And the guy's, "Oh, well, yeah, just go ahead and come with me." Or, it's like obviously something that wouldn't really happen. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to make a point. Don't really get the point yet, but so the other guy, will stand up and jump in. "Oh, well, she doesn't know you, and who are you? And oh, no, this child isn't going anywhere with you, and da 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 da." So here's my problem. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm not on. I saw this one on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook as much as I used to be. Probably a lot of people aren't, but this I haven't seen a lot of these, like I'm saying, because I'm not on Facebook like that. And Facebook is the only place that I really see these skits like those. And so, I haven't seen any with little boys. I may have seen one or something, maybe with a woman, where the woman may be, there and trying to protect the child of, someone's trying to take the kid or something like that. Maybe, but I'm kind of thinking it's always been men that I've seen. So here's the thing. It's always been, you know, even from what I remember, as a kid, it had always been to go to a woman, because a woman would be more likely probably to be a mom or have kids or something like that. And it'd be more of a kind of a nurturing, parental type figure or feeling from the woman, to where she'd be like, oh, well, let me help this kid. Like, this could definitely be my grandbaby or my baby or whatever. Um, but it seems to me that there's this push for these kids, and like I keep saying, mostly girls that I have seen, to approach. They're literally approaching men and telling them, "Oh, I'm hungry," and "Oh, I don't know where my mom is," or whatever. And the assumption is, oh, it's going to be a really nice guy, and he's going to help the kid and call the police and let me protect you. I don't understand what world that is, because the world that we are in 2024 is completely predatory. A child doesn't even have to grow up to an adult usually it's the predatory adult entering the child space or coming to the child. But it's just weird to me that we're having skits of little girls and so forth going to full grown men, telling them you need something. Or say, even the fact, I mean, I don't know how old some of y'all are, but I remember even back in the 80s, there used to be these ad campaigns and so forth about, they would really push, if you were home alone or a latchkey kid or whatever, um, not to tell people your parents are home, you know? And like, this is crazy to me, the assumption of goodness from just a random man to a little girl. Like, that's crazy to me. And the other assumption is grown women can't even just look at a man and be like, oh, that's a nice guy. But we're pushing an agenda of telling, of saying, because there's kids on these apps, there's kids on Facebook. And we're pushing an agenda that if a kid see that, oh, it's okay to go up to a man and just say, oh, well, tell him you're hungry, or tell him you're. There's so much wrong with that. And like I said, I know it's a skit, but there's so much wrong with that. Because my thing is, in today's world, a truly nefarious person, which is more than likely what the child is going to come up against, we know this, is going to probably, say something like, oh, well, let me take you home or whatever. And if you have a child that naive, they're trying to depict this child as this naive. Now, the child in the skit is what? I don't know, 8, 9, maybe. And he'll say, oh, well, let me take you home or whatever. And so she's going to take the guy to her house. She already told him that there's nobody there. There's no grown-ups there. Both parents, or whoever the parents are gone. They're at work. So literally, I'm alone. That's a problem. Going up to any person in this day and time, really even women, because many times predatory men are helped by women, you know. So it's a stranger, period, man or woman. But especially to have these skits of little girls going up to full grown men, telling them you need something, or my parents aren't home, but like, that's crazy as hell to me. I don't, and especially, like I keep saying, in the age of sex trafficking, in the age of full grown women getting kidnapped, we're pushing for little kids to grow up to adults, and like, this is crazy to me. Um, I don't know what the goal is behind that. Like, what are we trying to say? You know what I'm saying? I mean, two more examples and I'm going to get off here. It's kind of like the whole Uber Lyft thing. Now we know that these are they're ride shares and there's safety precautions and all these things in it now. They've developed through the years. Um, but it's one of those things where I saw on a somewhere in a comment or something on social media, they were talking about how, our parents used to tell us don't get in the car with strangers, and now here we are, we get in the car with strangers all the time, every day, with these ride apps. And that's true. The issue also with that, though, is the fact that um look how many ride share sexual assaults there have been. There's a lawsuit right now going on. I don't know if it's Uber or Lyft or both of them or whatever, but there is a lawsuit right now of sexual assault victims. Third thing I'm going to bring up, and I've talked about this before, and these are obviously skits. But these skits that push for women walking up and down the street who obviously look like prostitutes, or they got some big, gigantic fat behind, and oh, they're just so pretty and so small and so petite and everything. And, usually the black ones that I see, the black ones usually they have some attitude and, well, I don't want you, and until they go get into a nice car or something like that, and oh, is that your car? Oh yeah, well, I didn't know, I didn't know. Next thing you know, they're sitting in the guy's car. Now he usually will kick him out or say something, oh, we'll go do it, I don't want you, whatever. That's not the point to me. The point to me is women getting in strange men's cars. You don't know him, and you know he only looked at you or picked you up because you got some big fat enormous ass that he wants to pound. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me, the safety or the unsafety that women and children are being put in with these skits. And like I say, maybe I'm going off. Maybe, I'm pushing things out of proportion or what have you, but it's wild to me. And then I started seeing ones where there were like a lot of Hispanic women, and they got these big fat behinds or whatever, one of them literally looked like a BBL. And they're so nice and so, oh, yeah, of course I cook. And yeah, I'm really just a homebody, but I'm walking up and down the street with a big fat ass, just walking somewhere, you know. But I'm a homebody and I cook and I clean and da 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 da. And then next thing you know, all of these, people in the car, oh, she's a keeper, she's a keeper. Oh, she's a good one, she's a good one. And I'm just like, so what the message is that black women have bad, funky attitudes and they're all gold diggers, but you're going to see just a random Hispanic or probably Venezuelan, because there's so many here now, women, beautiful women. And they're just sweet and nice and lovely, and they're just ready to find a guy, and they're gonna get in his car, and oh yeah, she cooks and she cleans, and she's just this wonderful good woman, and she's just a keeper, and da 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 da. And it's just like, what are y'all saying? We know what y'all saying, but what are y'all trying to say? Y'all trying to say black women have bad, funky attitudes and they're just gold diggers. And because the Hispanic women, look just as good, they got these big fat behinds or whatever, and they're telling the guy, oh, yeah, well, I'm a homebody. I'm usually staying at home, and yeah, I cook and I clean, and I do, and yeah, I know how to cook roast, and I can bake this, and da, 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 da. And it's just like, it's so silly, and it's so, the message is just so unreal. It's so unreal. And again, it's shooting shots at black women. That's really what this is. There was some Hispanic woman or woman in the comments as I pose. And she was like, yep, representing for the Latinas. Yeah, we good women. We did it. And she's like, still, the implication for me is these random women, these skits of guys picking up random women off the street and women, full grown women, being silly enough to hop in a man's car because he got a sports car. Like, are we serious? And like I keep saying, they're kidnapping full grown women from parking lots, from malls, and we're doing these skits trying to show gold diggers and literally showing full grown women getting into men's cars and not looking at the danger of that. And again, I gotta say, what is the implication behind these type videos? Now, a regular, normal, everyday woman is more than likely, I mean, women ain't just jumping in men's cars. At least I hope not. But it makes me wonder about women who may be a little more naive, or women who don't understand what's really behind this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is very unsafe. It's very damaging, and it's not a good message for women and children. These are not good messages for women and children, that it's okay just to go off somewhere with some man you don't know. You literally just met him 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago. And especially with the women walking around with these big fat asses just up and down the street, and I'm finna get in this man's car. Like, that is some prostitution shit. I'm sorry. There's no other way to look at this. This is unsafe. What's the message behind it? And it's just crazy in the age of, like I said, of sex trafficking, and the age of it being so unsafe for women. Like, just walking up and down the street, that's unsafe for women. Women were getting punched in the face. Women are getting assaulted. Women are getting tricked. Women are getting stalked, and so forth. And it's getting more and more aggressive. And we keep having these videos and skits of, a woman just hopping into a guy's car because, oh, he got a nice car. Like, or showing making these skits of it being okay for little kids to go up to full grown men and tell them, oh, I'm hungry, or I need that. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. You guys, let me know what you think. I don't think that we need to just write this off that, oh, it's just a skit. It's just a skit. Quit being so hyper about it. It's just a skit. No, there's always an agenda. In America, there's always an agenda. There's always an underlying message. You guys, let me know what you think the message might be. Let me know. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, leave me a comment. See you next time.